All right, since I stopped the recording like halfway through the book, didn't even realize it, so I'm going to finish our Lorax book. Okay? But the very next time, I proved he was wrong. But the very next minute, I proved he was wrong. For just at that minute, a chap came along, and he thought that the thneed I had knitted was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. You poor stupid guy. You never can tell what some people might buy. I repeat, cried the Lorax, I speak for the trees. I'm busy, I told him. Shut up, if you please. I rushed across the room, and in no time at all, built a radio phone. I put in a quick call. I called all my brothers and uncles and aunts. I said, listen here, here's a wonderful chance for the whole Onceler family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast. Take the road to North Nitch. Turn left at Weehawken, sharp right at South Twitch. At Stitch. The needs. So now all the family is here helping him build these needs. And in no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Onceler family was working full tilt. We were all knitting thneeds just as busy as beads to the sound of the chopping of truffula trees. All the trees are getting cut down. Then, oh baby, oh, how my business did grow. Now, chopping one tree at a time was too slow. So I quickly invented my super axe hacker with whacker, which whacked off 4 truffle trees at one smack. We were making thneeds 4 times as fast as before, and that Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. So instead of cutting 1 tree at a time, now he's cutting 4 trees at a time. That forest and those truffle trees are going to get knocked out fast. But the next week, he knocked on my new office door. He snapped, I'm the Lorax who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping as fast as you please. But I'm also in charge of the brown barbaloots who played in the shade in their barbaloo suits and happily lived eating truffula fruits. So these little guys ate the fruit from these truffula trees. Now, thanks to your hacking my trees to the ground, that's not enough truffula fruit to go round. And my poor barbaloots are all getting the crummies because they get gas and have gas and no food in their tummies. They love living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food, and I hope that they may. Good luck, boys, he cried, and he sent them away. I, the Onceler, felt sad as I watched them all go. But business is business, and business must grow, regardless of crummies and tummies, you know. Business is business. Business is business. So, no matter what, even though that he knows he's hurting the truffula trees, we talked about even in this book here, that in order for the farmers to produce their crops and to feed their animals, they are no longer using like horses and donkeys to help plant. They are using tractors. So the more tractors they have, the more quickly the process of getting crops planted and fertilized will be quicker. So regardless if the farmer, like the guy here, knows that he's hurting the environment, business is business, so he's all for that money. I meant no harm, I most truly did not, but I had to grow bigger. So bigger I got. I biggered my factory, I biggered my roads, I biggered my wagons, I biggered the loads. And the thneeds I shipped out, I was shipping them forth to the south, to the east, to the west, to the north. I went right on biggering, selling more needs, and I biggered my money, which everyone needs. So now he's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The more trees they're also going to be cutting down to make these needs. Then again he came back. I was fixing some pipes when the old nuisance Lorax came back with more gripes. I am the Lorax, he coughed and he whistled. He sneezed and he sniffled. He snargled, he sniffed. Onceler, he cried with a truffless croak. Onceler, you're making such a smoke. My poor swanny swans, why they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smog in their throat. Do you guys remember? Air pollution? Smog is a type of air pollution. So that factory is putting smog in the air. And in the Lorax, it is hurting the swans because they have smog in their throats. And so said the Lorax, please pardon my cough. They cannot live here, so I'm sending them off. Where will we go? I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape from the smog you've smogged up around here. So we have the swans that went away. We have the barbaloots that ate the fruit. So our nature has to go away to find places to live and eat. What's more, snapped the Lorax. His dander was up. Let me say a few words about glippity-glup. Your machinery chugs on day and night without stop, making gluppity-glup. Also schlippity-schlup. And do what you do. And what do you do with this leftover goo? I'll show you, you dirty old once-there man, you. So all these machines are making guppity-gup, which would be part of biological pollution. The machines are making this gum. In class we talked about, can this on the floor be reused? Yes, it can. So instead of just throwing this guppity-gup away, we can either reuse it, put it back in here, so it's not being wasted. Also, these gluppity-glup machines are chugging day and night without stop. So it's using lots of electricity. You're gluppity-glup, you're gluppling the pond where the humming fish hummed. No more can they hum, for their gills are all gummed. So, the water pollution. Water pollution is our number one. Look at this picture here. Is a lot like the picture we drew yesterday about our plant. The fertilizer going into our lakes and rivers and it killing our fish. And then the raccoon that comes and eats this toxic fish will die. The birds in the air that come and eat the fish in the toxic pond will also end up dying. No more can they hum, for their gills are all gummed. The gills are how a fish breathes. So I'm sending them off. Oh, their future is dreary. They'll walk on their fins and get woefully weary in search of some water that isn't so smeary. And then I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at the Lorax. Now listen here, Dad. All you do is yap, yap and say bad, 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 bad. Well, I have my rights, sir, and I'm telling you. I intend to go on doing just what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm biggering and biggering and biggering and biggering, turning more truffle trees into thieves, which everyone needs. And at that very moment, he heard a loud whack From outside in the field came a sickening smack of an axe on a tree. Then we heard the tree fall, the very last truffula tree of them all. All your trees are cut down. The last one. No more trees, no more thieves, no more work to be done. So in no time, my uncles and aunts, everyone, all waved me goodbye. They jumped into my cars and drove away under the smoke-smuggered stars. Now all of that was left beneath that bad-smelling sky was my big empty factory, the Lorax, and I. The Lorax said nothing, just gave me a glance. Just gave me a very sad backward glance as he lifted himself by the seat of his pants, and I'll never forget the grim look on his face when he hoisted himself and took leave of this place through a hole in the smog without leaving a trace. And all that the Lorax left here in this mess was a small pile of rocks with the one word, unless. Whatever that meant, well, I couldn't guess. That was long, long ago, but each day since that day, I've sat here and worried away. Through the years, while my buildings had fallen apart, I've worried about it with all my heart. So now this factory just sits all empty. But now, said the Onceler, now that you're here, the word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. So that Lorax really cares about the environment. So this guy up here saying, unless someone like you comes along to help. So, catch, says the Onceler. He lets something fall. It's a truffula seed. It's the last one of all. You're in charge of the last of the truffula seeds. And truffula trees are what everyone needs. Plant a new truffula, treat it with care, give it clean water, and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest, protect it from axes that hack. Then the Lorax and all of his friends may come back. All right, so this one seed is going to start all the truffula seeds back over. So this book worked really well with our unit so far. With our pollution, it talked a lot about the different types of pollution. And we also talked about how it's okay to cut down trees if it's needed, but he overdid it. He cut way too many down. He did not need to do that. Not everyone needed a truffula. They just made it seem like you needed it. It was more like a want. You wanted that truffula tree to get cut down so you can have that piece of clothing. So remember, if we cut down a tree, we should also plant a new tree. So I hope you enjoyed the Lorax.